Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd. It's about 10 a.m. right now. We'll be going until 12:30. So I hope you guys got my email that I just sent out with the practice exam review sheet. Before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and do a check-in and go over some announcements. So you guys saw the announcement that I had up here earlier. Okay, so we're going to do an exam review today, but before we do that, I'm going to take a quick moment just to check in with everyone, and I'll call on folks who's on here right now. The question is, what do you miss? What is something that you miss that surprises you during this shutdown quarantine time? What is something that you miss? I have to think about my answer too. Garrett, can I start with you?
I miss attending class.
You miss attending class?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the online right now. It's not fun.
Right. Are you talking about our class or your classes?
My classes.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
But your classes too. I'm not as much help, I don't feel like, online. I definitely am more helpful in person.
Well, today I'm definitely going to need your help as we do the exam review. So, Melissa, Santiago, what is something that you miss that surprises you?
The same thing, being on campus. I like learning in person better.
Oh, okay. Right. Right. How about Jaspreet?
Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
What's something that you miss that surprises you?
I miss going to the mall, which I used to hate before, but I surprisingly miss it now.
Right. Margot, good morning.
Good morning. I would have to say school, surprisingly, because I don't like school, so I miss going to it.
Oh. Melani.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm actually loving being at home. I guess the one thing that I do miss is school, the interaction with the teachers and classmates. But I am having a lot of interaction with my kids.
Good.
I miss their school too.
You miss what?
I miss their school too.
You miss what? I'm sorry?
I miss their school too.
Dance school. Andre.
Actually, that's my cell phone.
I'm like, who's Andre? Oh, that's Sophia.
I think I also miss going to class because I don't really like online that much.
Lakonda.
I miss going to campus.
Suzette.
I actually miss going to class too, because that was like school was my only form of getting out of the house, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like you're not alone in that feeling. Sophia. Oh no, Sophia, you already went. Ashley.
It would also probably be school because like I'm mainly just always at the house, like helping out. So that was also like one way I would get out the house.
Hannah.
I miss working and going to the gym and social interaction.
Right. Stephanie?
I miss interacting with other people.
Did I miss anyone by any chance? Who's A. Duenas? Oh, Angelica? Can't hear you, Angelica. Can you unmute yourself? Or I'll unmute it for you. Okay, still can't hear you, Angelica. While we're waiting for Angelica, how about Paul?
Hey, yeah, I miss getting out and being with the classroom environment. Right now, I'm not getting out much at all due to the virus. So I also miss going to the gym. So it's getting kind of getting antsy here, having to stay inside all the time.
Right. Yeah. I think I got it. Angelica, were you able to turn on your phone, your mic? I don't think I got Erica yet. Actually, Erica,
Yes.
did you share yet?
Share. I just got on.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
What is something that you missed that surprises you during this time?
What's something that, just getting my nails done.
Getting your nails done.
Yeah, I'm getting my toes.
We saw your spotlight last week with your beautiful.
Yeah, that's something I guess I miss. Yeah.
Right. Cool. As for me, I miss traveling. I miss going out or having my friends over. I really love to host, so I miss that a lot. Alrighty, give me 1 second while I tend to my son real quick, who's trying to enter into the room that I locked. Give me 1 second. Go ahead and read the agenda for today as I tend to him. Hey. All right, sorry about that. I am back. My son was just tattletelling on his younger brother that his younger brother wasn't eating his breakfast. So checking in, announcements, questions. So after this, I'll open up for any questions you guys have. I had emailed you guys the practice exam review. So if you guys are able to print it out, great. If not, I'll just show it on the screen in a little bit. We'll have a break. And today we have a student spotlight, Jesus, and the two groups will be presenting. And I did get both of the groups' PowerPoint, so thank you. And then we'll end around 12:30 today. Reminder of homework that's due tonight. The quadratics is due. 17 topics. Remember, it was 19. I cut it down to 17. There will be a quiz tomorrow on quadratics. It's open all day, and it'll close at around midnight, and you'll have unlimited tries. So really use that to test your knowledge of how well you know the material without looking at notes or anything. I posted up an Alex practice exam that will also open up tomorrow. So we'll have a practice exam that we'll go over right now, which is one version of what's on Alex. So the one that's on Alex, which is the one that's graded, it's a practice exam that consists of both the quizzes on radicals and on quadratics put together. There's about 20 questions, and that's due on Sunday. Again, that's unlimited tries, and every time you retry it, you have to do the whole thing over again. And I really encourage you guys to use that as though it was the exam itself. Time yourself, can you finish it within 2.5 hours? And go back and learn whatever you didn't understand. Continue sending in your student spotlights. The DLA, SLA, one of them is due next week. So just remember, by the end of the semester, you need to have 5 of them completed. What to look forward to next week, Group 7 will be presenting on Wednesday. So send me your PowerPoints or whatnot, ask me questions if you have any questions beforehand. The exam will be on Monday. And I've spoken to the math department, and there's just been a lot of issues of dishonesty and just a lot of cheating that's been going on. And somewhat I understand it because I used to be a student as well, right? But one of the things that we're changing it is that we're actually gonna have the exam done live on Zoom. So this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna need to have both your phone and a laptop. So that's why I asked you to bring both phone and laptop with you today, because we're gonna practice it today. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna be on your laptop taking the exam on Alex like you normally do. However, you're gonna use your phone as a camera on Zoom with me so that I could see that you're doing your homework, and so that I could see your screen and I could see you taking the test. So it's as though I was proctoring the exam in class, but instead of being in class, we'll be using the camera of your phone on Zoom to take it. And I'm going to be on during both class times. So the normal class time for the Math 140 is 10 to 12:30. And then the one for Math 130 is 1 to 3:30. So you could go to either one. You could attend either one that works for you. So just make sure you have both video on for both your laptop and your cell phone. And if you guys have any questions with that, feel free to ask me in a second. So that's what Monday is going to be. Monday will be the exam itself. Wednesday will be another Confer Zoom, and we will talk about functions and exponentials. And the SLA is due next week. Again, Garrett's tutoring hours are open for you guys, so please utilize him. Again, my YouTube channel is up with always the converted recordings and the playlist of lecture videos. And this is what we've covered for quadratics, 17 topics. So we went over this past Monday. All right, does anyone have any questions for me? No questions? Go ahead.
So we need both our laptop and our phone today?
Yes. So, okay. So I'll go ahead and go into that. So there's no questions on the math material or anything I've shared so far? All right, so if there are no questions, go ahead and take out your, make sure if you have it, so I've asked you guys to log on both with your phone and with your laptop. So, so here's my phone. So what it should look like is go ahead and log on both and go ahead and turn on the video for your phone. So I know, Melanie, you said the video for your phone was on, or you have it. So if you could show yours, Melanie, I don't know who else has their phone with them.
Oh, well, right now my phone is saying that I have to go into my settings and change the privacy for my camera. So I'm going to do that right now.
Right. So go ahead, you guys, everyone take out your phone. I believe all of you guys have a phone. Go ahead and do it now so that on the day of the exam, you're not like, oh, wait, what do? I want you guys to practice now. You're going to have to download the Zoom app. And then once you download the Zoom app on your phone, it says join a meeting. You click on it and you got to put in today's ID. So the ID for today's Zoom session is on your email.
Can you repeat the ID, because for some reason it doesn't pop up on mine, please?
Okay, sure. So you're going to click the ID number is 999 6591 0258.
Thank you.
Then, yeah, you're welcome. And then they're going to ask you for a password as well. So the password is the one that I sent you guys, and I will show it again here. So the password is so capital B, capital X, and lowercase n, capital M, lowercase c, v, f, j, y, and then the number 1. So once you log on your phone with it, it'll say join with video. So you're going to click join with video. And it's going to ask you to join with audio. I'm going to put because I don't want there to be this echoing sound between my phone and my laptop. So only my laptop has sound, but my phone does not have sound. So as you can see from the screen here, so So here is me on my laptop with that. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't know why, I think my son was playing with the background. So there it is. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the camera so that you can see me right here on my laptop taking my exam. So figure out a way in your office setting where you are on your computer, and actually I want to be able to see your laptop. So I want to be able to see your laptop, and hopefully it's actually maybe far enough like this. So this would be the perfect view that I would want of you on your laptop taking your ALEKS exam on the computer. So that way I could see you taking it, that there's no other sheets in front of you besides a scratch sheet of paper that you're going to write down your problems and turn into me. And then I could see your screen, that there's no other things going on there as well.
Hey, Ms. Mahan.
Yes, question.
So I'm trying to join CONFER ZOOM on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing that? Is that correct? Through Canvas?
Yeah, you could do it through Canvas, or you could just do it through a CONFER Zoom that's or just a Zoom that's on your app.
Right.
It doesn't have to be through Canvas.
Okay. Maybe I don't have Zoom installed or something.
Right.
So I'm getting webpage not available. So.
Okay. Yeah. So the easiest thing to do, I know there's so many, and I'm seeing two versions of myself on the screen right now. This is so weird. The easiest thing to do is to download Zoom onto your phone as an app, and then just click open the app on your phone, put in the meeting ID and the password, and that way you don't have to worry about going through Canvas to do it.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And was it Melanie or who's it? Melissa, I see your camera on. Would you be able to, yeah, can I, so let's take a look at Melissa's. I'm gonna spotlight you, Melissa, if you don't mind. So you're gonna have to put your, yeah, great. So in a way where I could see your laptop and I could see you on the laptop, right? So maybe you're gonna have to create a chair, put a chair further away from you that's in the back so that you could hold it up. So you guys are gonna have to practice this a little bit before taking the test, because you can't hold your phone while you're taking the test, right? You wanna be able to prop it up in a place, so maybe on a chair or in a table, right? So I see Melissa there, and try to angle it so I can actually see your laptop as well. Can you do that? Yeah, so you might have to actually put the phone more in back of you a little bit more, so that I would be able to see your phone and you, okay? So go ahead and practice that. Does anyone else have, I see Jessica, let's go ahead and practice with you. So hi, Jessica. Hi, Jessica.
So I'm not in the, yeah, let me 1 second.
Yeah, just turn the volume off on both of your devices. If they're both on, you hear an echo. So just turn volume on for one of them.
All right, so I'm not in the setting where I would be taking my test, but at my house, I do have something I could lean it on so that you could see like all of this.
Yeah, right.
I don't have
where you're at right now. Yeah, exactly. Great.
Pretty much be it, kind of, but
okay.
My room's bigger.
Okay, good. Yeah, so good point. When you guys are preparing to take your test, practice putting it in a location where either you have a table or a sofa or something that's holding up the phone so you're not touching it, and has a good view of you taking the test where I could actually see you and the screen itself. Does anyone else want to practice? Go ahead and turn on your Paul. Hi, Paul. I'm going to spotlight you if you don't mind. It's so good to finally see people. You guys always black out your face, so I'm always sad not seeing you guys. Let's see something that you would do, Paul, as you would take your test. Why don't you practice it? I can't hear you, by the way.
So I'm kind of in a tight space where I'm at.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Would you be able to put the phone kind of to the side of you instead of?
Yeah. Really?
So actually, it's in a way where I could actually see your laptop. So whenever you could, I want to be able to see the screen of your laptop as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a reconfiguration here, so I'll have to get back.
Sure, we can practice right now. So I just want to give you guys a chance to practice. Nice plant. Jaspreet, I do see your message to me, but using your dad's laptop and requires a fingertip. So yeah, so just make sure you work out with your dad, Jaspreet, or if you could borrow someone's phone during that time, those 2.5 hours to do it.
Thank you.
And Lakonda, I see your message. You can use your phone. You can only use your phone right now. Your daughter's in class with your laptop. That's fine. So if there's any way where you could use your laptop on the day of the exam and use your phone or someone else's phone to do it. The audio is glitching a little bit. Perfect, Paul. That's perfect. Now I can see you, your hands. I can see the perfect. Alrighty, so I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry for the extra measure of security, but we're doing the best that we can with the situation. Did anyone have any questions?
Do we need this on for this whole meeting today?
No, you can turn it off now.
Okay, thanks.
It was just to help you guys test. Did anyone else want to test? I'm happy to have anyone test if they want. Did anyone want to test it out today? And you know what? I think on Monday, since the class starts at 10:10, the class will start at 10 o'clock. I'll jump on around 9:45. I'll jump on a little bit early to help you guys get set up, make sure everyone's angle is on correctly and whatnot, right? So any questions? And same rules as with the test whenever we took it in person, meaning please take your restroom break before you take the exam, because I don't want anyone to be leaving in the middle of the exam. Take your restroom break beforehand. Have your water bottle, have everything, your snacks ready in front of you.
Professor, I have a question. So you said, I thought Mondays we met at 1 o'clock. Are we meeting at 10 o'clock now on Mondays?
All right, good question. So I'm gonna provide 2 test times and you could go to either one. The first one is at 10 o'clock and the second one is at 1 o'clock because I wanna honor those who were in Math 140 class, who were used to the 10 o'clock, Math 130 class, who were used to the 1 o'clock, but you could attend either one. That's fine.
All right, perfect. Sorry about that.
Nope, no worries. Great question. Any other questions? Alrighty. So we'll test it out and see how that goes. Hopefully that'll just be a normal testing situation that you normally have when you're in person with me, but now it's just over the computer. All right.
Sorry, I have one more comment.
Sure, go ahead, Hannah.
We're supposed to be doing our group presentation today, and I guess 2 people are having issues getting on. So I'm not sure if we can do it again next week or should we just
2 people?
It's Hannah and myself, and then I believe Jesus.
Jesus?
And I'm sorry, it's Melani. In my group, Elizabeth just sent me a message saying she was having trouble getting on. I'm in group 6.
Why are people having a hard time getting on?
But Kenny, the other person in our group, is working, I guess. So I don't know, but
hold on 1 second. I see some messages here that I'm just sending. Okay, I see something from Anthony, but I don't see. If anyone is having trouble logging on, let them know that they can message me and I'll resend the link. For some reason, I don't know why they're not being able to log on.
I was having issues too, but on Google, like on the Gmail, you could just put on the side, it says show original email. And then from there, it expands everything because it didn't let me expand the information where the meeting was held or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that same trouble. I had to go onto Canvas to do it.
Oh, yeah. It didn't show on like the email side.
That is so weird. Okay, maybe I'm gonna just send a quick email.
Yeah, like the Hinks the links were like collapsed and hidden, so you couldn't actually like click or see the link. It was weird.
Okay, I'm gonna send while you guys are talking right now, I'm sending a link and an email again to everyone, and hopefully this time it'll be a little bit, I don't know why I did that. Technology, gotta love it and gotta hate it, right? But thanks for letting me know. Okay. All right, I just resent it again, and hopefully this time it'll work. I just resent it. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and screen share the...
So with that email, it did the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says like show quoted text, but then you click on it and it doesn't do anything.
That is so weird. I don't know why. Well,
yeah, that's why Victor and Melissa and Katia aren't able to join. They don't have no link.
Yeah, that's why like in Gmail, there's like a section on the
Oh,
side.
oh no, okay. I see the one that you sent.
did that one work?
Yeah, that one's fine. The link is just exposed by itself, but and I think they should be able to grab the password from the previous one.
Okay,
So
and you saw the passwords on there too, right?
yes, okay,
Yeah.
that should work.
Okay, perfect. Anyone that's jumping on, welcome aboard. Thanks for letting me know, you guys. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead. Without further ado, I am going to go ahead and go over the practice exam with you guys. And I'm with the practice exam, I'm going to put it up here, and we'll do a few problems at a time as a class. And then I'm going to put you guys in breakout sessions. And Garrett, I'll put you in charge of a breakout session, and I put you as co-host so you could jump around. So that's not what I want. Okay, quadratics practice exam. Here you go. Can you guys see that? All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna start off. So the first, as you can see, there are 20 questions. We're gonna start off with our most recent material because that's probably the one that's the most fresh in your head, and that's gonna start off with at number 13. So let me give you guys a chance right now to do number 13 and number 14. So go ahead and copy those problems down, or if you already have it printed out, great. So number 13 is to solve a quadratic. And the big hint with this is to use completing the square for number 13. And then number 14 is to use the quadratic equation by completing the square. And then number 15, is to solve the quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. So remember, I shared you guys 3 different ways, new ways of solving quadratic besides factoring. If factoring doesn't work, there are other ways. So number 13, this is completing the square. Number 14 is to use number 13 is square root property. Number 13, use the square root property. Number 14 is use completing the square. And you're gonna have to write it in its form here. And then number 15 is to use the quadratic formula. And notice it says the complex solution, so you know you can have an I in the answer, an imaginary number in the answer. So go ahead and copy those down, work on it. I'll give you guys about a good 7-8 minutes to work on it. 10:40 right now, around 10:40, and I will put you guys in sessions as well, so that if you're in the middle of something, you're stuck, you don't know what to do, you can feel free to ask someone. And if you don't need any help, just keep working on your work individually, but you'll also have the option of being able to work with people if need be.
I went ahead and switched to my computer. If you already made me co-host, you have to make me co-host again.
Oh, okay, sounds good. So Garrett, you are now co-host. Did everyone get a chance to copy it?
Can I get number 14 again?
Sure. Everyone get a chance to copy. And again, it's also on your emails. Hopefully you guys got that email with it as well, if you need it. And there's currently 23 people in this, in our Confer Zoom. So I'm gonna make it so that there are 4 to 5 participants per room. So there's gonna be 5 rooms. I'm gonna create the breakout rooms. Feel free to discuss with the people in there. If you don't need help, then you can stay silent. And Garrett and myself will be jumping from room to room. Well, this is a good time to learn it if we haven't learned it yet. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna switch over to my phone so that you guys can see it. So would anyone like to walk with me? Actually, let me give you guys the answers first. Number 13, the answer is, drum roll please. The answer is -8 plus 2 root 3. -8 minus 2 root 3. I'm sorry, okay, number 8. Did I say number 8?
Yeah, we need number 13, isn't it?
Oh yeah, sorry. Number 13, yeah. So I was right. Number 13 is -8 plus 2 root 3 and -8 minus 2 root 3. Would anyone, would any volunteers like to walk me through how you did number 8? And I'll write out what you did as you explain to me the problem. Any takers?
Okay, I'll help you.
Sure.
Okay, so first we want to move the 12 to the other side.
Sorry, number 13. Okay, so we're going to move the 12 to the other side. Okay. And I'm sorry,
making it a positive 12.
Who's speaking right now? 12? Is this Angelica?
It's Angelica.
Oh, hi, Angelica. Okay.
Yes. Okay, and then to get rid of the squared, we're gonna go ahead and square root both sides. And that will give us u plus 8 equals 2 root 3, square root 3. And then after that, I go ahead and subtract the 8 to the other side. So then I get u equals -8 plus or minus 2 root 3. Yeah.
Great, great. So I'm going to add a few things to what you said, Angelica. So when Angelica square rooted both sides, whenever you square root both sides, you have to have a plus or minus right there. So make sure when you square root both sides, the one with the number has a plus or minus 2 root 3. Right? And then you subtract 8 on both sides. Great. And that becomes your final answer. And that's why it's -8 plus 2 root 3 and -8 minus 2 root 3. Perfect. And this is using the square root property. So if any of you guys are fuzzy on that, you guys can always go back to my videos where I go into great details of how to use square root property. Any questions on number 13? Great, good job, Angelica. Number 14, let me give you guys the answer for number 14. So number 14, the answer here is x plus 9 squared is equal to 14. So that's not the answer, but that's the form that you get when you do completing a square. And then the solution for that is going to be -9 plus square root 14 and -9 minus square root 14 when you write it out on Alex. Or on paper, it's plus or minus square root 14. Did anyone get that problem correct that would like to solve it? Any takers?
Go ahead. I can go ahead and help you with this one too.
Okay, Angelica, go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so this one, we have to do the completing the square method. So we're gonna take the middle term, which is 18, and we're gonna divide it by 2, and then square it. So 18 divided by 2, and then yeah, square it, and we will get 81. Okay, so now we have our number there. So then that's gonna turn into x squared plus 18x plus 81. And what we do, we're gonna put the 67 on the other side. So it's gonna equal negative 67 plus 81.
All right, so before you keep going on, does anyone have any questions with what Angelica just did? So the first thing you do is you want x squared plus 18x to be sitting by itself, and then you move the 67 to the other side. And the reason being is because we cannot factor this, right? If we try to factor it, we can't factor it. So that's why we need another method to solve this besides factoring. So the 67 number, the constant, we moved it to the other side to get negative 67. And then that's where Angelica, this is the step of completing the square. So you say, so what number goes right here then? What number can we put here in which we can that can cause us to factor that? And then completing the square is, like she said, take the middle term, divide it by 2 and square it, and you get 81. You put that magical number there, and you also put that magical number on the other side. Because whatever you do one side of the equation, you must do the other. So if we're adding 81, we have to add 81 there. All right, Angelica, go ahead.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and use the Xbox method to factor.
Okay.
So for x, I get x and x. And then for 81, I get 9 and 9. And then both of those will be 9x plus 9x equals 18x. So meaning those numbers work. So I get x plus 9.
Great. So I'm running out of space.
Box it, and it's x plus 9 squared. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the other side. Negative 67 plus 81 equals 14.
Great.
So I'm gonna go ahead and square root both sides.
Okay, so let me pause for a second. So great job with that, Angelica. So after we completed the squared, then we factored it. So now with this new 81, we cannot factor it. And whenever we factor completing the square problem, it'll always be something multiplied by itself twice. So here's x plus 9, as Angelica showed. And which is another way of saying x plus 9 quantity squared. Is everyone okay with that? Any questions? All right, and then last but not least, what's the last step, Angelica?
We're gonna go ahead and square root both sides.
We're gonna use the square root property to do this, okay? Square root both sides.
And then that's when we add the plus and minus in front of the 14. And then we will get x plus 9 equals plus or minus square root 14.
Awesome. Any questions with the square root property? Right, it's just like what we did up here with number 14, right? I'm sorry, it's just like what we did here with number 13. All right, and then last but not least, go ahead.
We're gonna go ahead and move the 9 to the other side. So subtract that, which gives us x equals -9 plus or minus square root 14. And our form would be x plus 9 squared equals 14.
Great. Does anyone have any questions with what Angelica did? You explained it really well. Nice work. Any questions with the square property? Nice job. All right, last but not least, let's look at question 15. So question 15 says, find the complex solutions of this thing. And if we try to factor it, we're gonna find out factoring does not work. So factoring doesn't work. So the next thing we're gonna do, which I hinted to you guys, was to use the quadratic equation or quadratic formula, right? And what's the quadratic formula, everyone?
X equals -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4 and then a, and then that's all over 2a.
Awesome, great job. So please make sure you guys memorize this. Does anyone have any, there's several ways I've heard people try memorize this quadratic formula. Does anyone have any way or any fun ways of memorizing this formula that you would like to share?
Doing Pop the Weasel.
Okay, Garrett, can you share what that is?
X equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Awesome. Up goes me. Yay! Thank you for singing for us, American Idol, Garrett. Right, so that's a really fun way of, or easy way of memorizing the quadratic formula. It's a song, right? So I'll sing it again with Garrett. 1, 2, 3. Garrett, me and you. 1, 2, 3. X
equals -b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Can I ask the rest of you guys to sing it, or would you guys rather not? Right, so that's a fun and easy way of memorizing a formula. Even though it's cheesy, it works, right? Another way that I also found out from another student, well, actually, first of all, did anyone else have any other ways of memorizing the quadratic formula? So the other way that a student told me a while ago is she had a story, she or he, I forgot who it was, had a story of this quadratic formula. And the story goes like this. The negative boy couldn't decide, so that's why it's a plus or minus, to go to the radical party. So the squared boy, so squared means like lame, I guess. So the squared boy missed out on -4. Awesome chicks. And the party was all over at 2 a.m. And I'm not condoning going to parties and missing out on 4 awesome chicks, but it's just a fun way to memorize it. So the negative boy couldn't decide to go to the radical party, so the squared boy missed out on 4 awesome chicks. The party was all over at 2 a.m. So that's another way of memorizing it. So let's talk about number 15 here. So the number 15 is, I don't have space here, so I'm gonna write it down as 6x squared plus 5x plus 4 is equal to 0. So let me give you the answer to that. And if there's anyone else that would, if anyone would like to go over with me how you guys might have gotten that answer. So the answer for number 15 is this. -512 plus square root of 71 over 12 I, and then -512 minus square root of 71 12 I. So it's a negative 5/12 plus or minus square root of 71/12i. And they wrote this in the standard complex form. And the standard complex form is where you split up the real part with the imaginary part. So here's the real and here's the imaginary. So you have to write it in that way.
So you can't put the I before the radical 71?
Oh, you could do that. Yeah, you could put the I right here. Yeah, the
Okay.
I could be anywhere there. Good question, Anthony. All right, would anyone like to walk me through how you did number 15? Beeler? If not, Garrett, do you mind walking me through what you did or how to do this problem?
Sure. Okay. So if we look at the standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c.
Oops, sorry.
We can get the coefficients. So in this case, a equals 6, b equals 5, and c equals 4.
Okay,
So now all I have to do is just plug those into that formula up top. We get x equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 6 times 4 all over the whole thing 2 times 6.
Okay, any questions with the plugging in portion that Garrett did? So we're just using the Popgoza-Wiezel formula for the quadratic formula to get that. All right, keep going, Garrett.
Okay, first we want to simplify that radical. So we have 25 minus, what is that? 24 times 4 is 96. And then we have the square root, the negative 5 over 12. The negative 5 plus or minus that.
I'm sorry, what was this? What did you say? What's
Oh,
25?
I don't know. 71.
Okay. Positive, negative?
Negative 71, yeah. Yep.
Okay, is everyone okay with that? So right now we have negative 5 plus or minus the square root of negative 71 all over
12.
12. Everyone okay with that? So the inside of the radical.
All right, well, to factor 71, it is prime, but we can take out that negative, and that'll become I square root negative, or I square root 71.
Great. So remember, whenever you have a negative underneath a radical, it's a negative 1, and a negative 1 is equivalent to I. Right. Great, so now we have x equals to negative 5 plus or minus I square root of 71 over 12. Any questions with that so far? All right, keep going.
Oh, that's done.
Are we done?
Yeah.
So make sure we also want to write it in complex standard form.
Oh, so you want me to like split up the 12 and split up the plus and minus?
Mm-hmm. So
Okay,
complex
now
standard
we have
form is always
negative.
A plus or minus BI. So the real part plus the imaginary part. Go ahead.
Okay. So negative 5/12 plus or minus I square root 71 over 12.
Right. Great. Thank you, Garrett. So the last step is simply just splitting up the fraction. So you put the 12 underneath this one, and you put the 12 underneath this one. The real part goes first, the imaginary part goes second. And of course, you can put the I here, or you can put the I outside here. It doesn't matter where the I goes, but as long as the imaginary part is the second part of the answer. Does anyone have any questions with the quadratic formula?
I have a question for the exam. Are we gonna have to do it complex standard form, or is it okay if we forget and we just leave it like that? Will we get points to, like, will we get it wrong?
You know, that's a really good question, and the answer is I'm not sure. So when you're doing your ALEX practice exam, you'll find out. So if you wrote this answer in your practice exam on ALEX, see what it gives you. If it marks it wrong, then you'll know, okay, for the exam itself, I better make sure I write it in standard form. If they let you do it like that and they didn't mark it wrong, then so be it. But I believe, based on the answer key that I'm looking at on ALEX, they want it in this form.
Ms. Mahan?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to confirm what you just said, because I've done some ALEX questions and the form was like this, so in the answers.
So the answer was like this form, the second?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah, they mark you wrong if you put it just over 12. You have to divide the fraction.
Okay, great.
Also, the I had to be at the end. For mine, it marked it wrong if I did it like that as well.
The I has to be at the end here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what mine was too. They were, yeah, at the end.
Okay, so Alex is a little bit picky.
I was gonna say so picky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's nice to have practice exams and homework, so you can find out, okay, how picky is Alex, right? So for me, I would have been totally fine with I in the beginning, but since you guys have found out that Alex is picky and they want I at the end, go ahead and do that. Just make sure when you type it, just be careful. When you put square root of 71, close the bracket around, or close the radical around 71, and that the I is not underneath the radical sign. So sometimes I see students accidentally put I underneath the radical. Make sure the I is outside the radical. Great. All right, any other questions or thoughts on that? All right, so let's go ahead and look at the next question now. So the next question, that was 13, 14, 15. And by the way, this is really great practice for your quiz, which is tomorrow, are these questions as well. So not only are we helping you with the with the exam, we're actually helping you with the quiz. So here, we're gonna, number 10 is to, or 16, is to solve this equation, and notice it does not look like a quadratic. So this is what we call a quadratic-like equation, where we use the substitution, the U substitution, to substitute something in so that it'll look like a quadratic. So go ahead and try number 16. And I'll put you guys in your breakout sessions again. And if you're stuck, feel free to ask someone. So please don't sit in the next 5 minutes looking at it blankly and not do anything. If you're not sure, please ask the people in your breakout room. All right, would anyone like to help me out with how to solve this? And let me give you the answer for this as well. The answer to question number 16 is 1, -1, 3, and -3. 1, -1, 3, and -3. Would anyone like to walk me through how you did this problem? Any takers?
I can do it.
Okay, and who's I?
Alexis.
Alexis, great. Hi, Alexis.
Hello.
So what did you end up doing?
Okay. All right, so I recalled that that we can replace the x's with u's, and I remembered that u can symbolize equaling x squared. And with that, of course, u squared can equal x to the power of 4. And then before we do anything, actually, we need to move the -9 to make it a proper equation, and we can get x to the 4th minus 10 to the 2nd plus 9 equals 0. And then from there, we can substitute the x's with u's, and I got u squared minus 10u plus 9 equals 0.
Great. Does anyone have any questions with Alexis substituting u is equal to x squared and u squared equals to x to the fourth? Does anyone have any questions with that? All right, perfect. Go ahead, Alexis.
Okay, thank you. And from there, I factor it out, and I get, was it u minus 9 times u minus 1 equals 0. And we can solve for u for both of these. And by doing so, I get u equals 9 and u equals 1. But from there, we're not finished because we have to turn the u's back into x's and solve for x. But u represents x squared, so that would mean that we'd have to square on both sides.
Okay. So since u is equal to x squared, okay, so now, so great. So does anyone have any questions about how she got u? Right, great job. So now that Alexis got u, remember that the original question is solving for x, not for u. So this was just a substitution, right? So now we go back to the original problem, and we see that the relationship between u and x is that u equals to x squared. So since u equals x squared, now we can solve for x. So go ahead, Alexis.
Yeah, so we change it back to x squared equals 9 and x squared equals 1. And from there, we can square both of them. We can find the perfect square of both of them.
Okay, great.
And what I got was the perfect square of x is 3, so I got plus or minus 3 for that one. And for x squared of, the square root of 1 is 1, so I got plus or minus 1. So the answer would be -3, +3, and -1, +1.
Excellent, excellent. And very good explanation. So does anyone have any questions for what Alexis did? Once she's put in the 9 for u and the 1 for u, she square root both sides. And when she did that, she made sure she put a plus or minus and then got her answer. Any questions? All right, excellent work. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at 17 and 18. So 17 and 18 are both asking us to graph a parabola. So for the sake of time, I'm going to have breakout rooms. Let me see. I currently have 5 breakout rooms. So I'm going to have, how about breakout room 1 and 2 is going to do number 17. So breakout room 1 and 2. And then breakout room 3, 4, and 5, go ahead and do question 18. So you can copy both of these problems down.
Professor, can you move it more to the left?
Sure. Actually, let me make it a little bit, oh, so you can see this?
Yeah.
What I just wrote, yeah.
Okay.
Got it? So did everyone get a chance to copy the problems? And if you want, you could copy both problems down, but I'm not going to give you too much time because I just want you to work on one of them, and then we'll come back as a group and talk about those 2 problems. Everyone get a chance to copy them down? All right, welcome back everyone. Let's go ahead and look at number 17, breakout rooms 1 and 2. You guys are doing question number 17. Would anyone like to walk me through what you did? So breakout rooms 1 and 2 were a bunch of people.
This is Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Like I'm still working on this, but I got the vertex and I was just starting to, and I got the points to the right, points to the left of the
Okay.
vertex. That's what I'm working on right now.
All right, so what was your vertex?
2 and -5.
Okay, so the vertex is 2 and -5. Is everyone okay with that? So if you guys remember the formula for the parabola is y is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. So it's Hong Kong, right? The vertex is Hong Kong, the h and the k. So the opposite of the one that's in here, so -2 becomes a +2, and then -5 becomes a positive. It stays as a -5. All right, good job. So 2, -5 is correct as the vertex. And what else, Paul? What did you end up doing next? Paul, you still there? I think you're on mute.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I laid out the XY graph, one for the left 2 points of the vertex, and then one XY graph for the right 2 points of the vertex, right?
Okay.
And I ended up getting 1 and 0 for the left 2 points under the X.
Sorry, give me 1 second. So what were the 2 points on the left? You said vertex of the
1 and 0.
okay, 1 and 0. So left of 2 is 1 and 0. Good.
Right, and then the right side 2 points are -4 and -3.
-4 and -3.
Oh, wait a minute, I don't think that's right. It should be 3 and 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the right side of the vertex
Right.
2 is going to be 3 and 4, right? Good.
Right, okay. So
Good.
now I just need to plug those into the original equation,
Right.
get the y values.
But I just want to sit on your lap.
Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I'm going to mute my son, so go ahead.
Oh, no, right now I'm just doing the equation, so I'm going to plug these in, each of these point values into the original equation to get the y values so that we can complete the parabola. Is that correct?
Yep, exactly. So you're going to plug in the 1 into the equation. And were you able to plug it in and get an answer yet?
No, not yet. Well, let's see.
Okay, did anyone in group 1 or group 2, were they able to plug in 1 and get an answer?
I was Alexis.
Okay, what did you get, Alexis?
For 3, I got the coordinates 3, -4.
Okay.
And for number 4, I got 4 and 4 -1 as the coordinates.
Okay. And then did anyone get anything for 1 and 0?
I also got 1 and 0 if you just want to get it done.
Okay, what did you get, Alexis?
I got 1 and -4 and 0 and -1.
Oh, great. All right, so let's go ahead and plug in what Alexis did. So 1 and -4 should be right about here. 0, -1 should be right about here. And then 3, -4 is here. How do we? Mommy's teaching right now. Okay, you can sit here. And then 4, -1. 4, -1 is right there. So notice when you connect these dots, right? When you connect these dots, it's symmetrical. The left side of the vertex and the right side of the vertex are mirror images of each other. So that's why the y value should be exactly the same. Great. And notice that the a in this problem is +1. So that's how you know that this is going to be a happy face. So when you plug in the points, it does confirm that's a happy face. So great job, Paul, and great job, Alexis, for solving this. Does anyone have any questions on graphing this parabola? So in Alice, you're going to have 5 points. The vertex, 2 to the left and 2 to the right. Great job. Question 18. Breakout rooms 3, 4, and 5. Can anyone help me out? Can anyone help out with this? What's the formula for a vertex? So this is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So this parabola is in standard form. It's not in vertex. This is called vertex form, by the way. This is called vertex form, but this is called standard form of a parabola or a quadratic equation. What is the vertex? Does anyone remember the formula for the vertex for this standard form?
Isn't it
negative b over 2a.
Right, negative b over 2a, the first part of the quadratic equation, in other words. So negative b over 2a, perfect. So it's a negative b over 2a, what is this going to be? What is this going to become then for this problem?
I got a negative, because I know that it's a negative and then parentheses negative 4 over 2 times 1.
Great.
And then it becomes 4 over 2, which equals to 2.
Great. Great. So the x value for the vertex is going to be 2. So if the x value is 2, how do we know what the y value is going to be?
We plug it in.
Plug it in, plug it in. Great. So when you guys plugged it in, what did you guys get for the y value?
I just turned this off. No, turn it off.
For a second. Anybody? What do you get when you plug 2 into this problem?
When you get 3?
Okay, we get 3. Is that 3? Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's 3, then the vertex then is 2, 3. That's the vertex then. So 2, 3 is 2, 3 up here. There's the vertex. And is this going to be a happy or sad face? Looking
Happy.
at it. Happy, right? And how do we know it's happy?
The x squared.
Right. The x squared, the coefficient is a positive 1. Since it's a positive 1, since a is positive, we know it's going to be a happy face. So go ahead, and what do we do to find out how wide or narrow the happy face is going to be?
We have to choose points on the left and the right of the vertex.
Great. So just like what Paul did in the question on number 17, we do that with number 18 as well. Once you have the vertex, pick points to the left and to the right. So here, since this is 2, 3, what's the x value to the left of 2?
0 and 1.
So I'll write it down 1 and 0. So just going one step to the left and one step to another. And how about to the right of 2?
3 and 4.
3 and 4. All right. Did anyone get any values in here when you plugged it in?
For 0, I got 7, and for 1, I got 4.
Okay. And how about B?
And 3, I got 4, and 4, I got 7.
Great. And they should be exactly the same, right? Great. So 1, Anthony got 4, Jill 7, 3 is at 4, and 4 is at 7. So again, it looks like a happy face when you connect the dots, and it's symmetrical from left to right. Great work. So the main idea then for this form is to make sure you find out what the vertex is by knowing the formula negative b over 2a. And like Garrett explained last week, that this was kind of the beginning part of the quadratic formula. Right?
Ma'am, I'm sorry. How did you get the 3 on the vortex? I see that you got the 2 from the formula, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then how did you get the 3 value there?
Great question. So we plugged in the 2, since the x value is 2, we plugged into the original problem.
Okay. Oh,
and
okay.
plug this in. 2 squared is 4 minus 8 plus 7.
Okay, got it. All right, thank you.
Okay. Yep. Good question. Any other questions? All right. So just for the sake of time, I'm not going to give us a break because I really want to get through as much as we can and have time for the student spotlights and the what do you call it, the group presentations as well. So let's look at number 19 and 20. So number 19 here, the graph of a function with vertex -2, 1 is shown in the figure. Find the domain and range. Let's do this one together. Find the domain and range. Let me give you a second actually just to write it down. So go ahead and write that, what you think the domain is. This should take probably no more than 1 minute. So remember, domain are all the x values. So it's all the horizontal values. And the range are all the y values in the graph, so the vertical. So the range here, so the domain, so notice from left to right, the domain is the x values. So this is going wider and wider and wider. What is your domain going to be?
Can you help me?
Anyone have a guess of what the domain is going to be?
The x.
I'm sorry?
The x values.
Yep. So what are the x values?
It'll be negative infinity to positive infinity.
Right. So I hear someone say all real numbers. I heard someone say negative infinity to positive infinity. Those are both correct answers. On Alex, they want you to write all real numbers because they didn't ask you to write an interval notation. If they asked you to write an interval notation, it would be negative infinity to infinity. If it was interval notation, but since they don't ask you, it'll be all real numbers, meaning that the domain is all real numbers. It's going to keep going wider and wider and wider. So this graph is going to have the x values are going to go all the way to the left and all the way to the right because this is going to go on and on forever, wider and wider. Let's talk about the y values. What's the range? So the graph goes from here all the way down. What would you say the range is? Any takers on the range?
Is it 1 to a negative infinity?
Great. So from 1 until negative infinity. So I'll write it here as from 1 to negative infinity. That is correct. And that is correct if they ask you for interval notation. However, this problem does not ask it for interval notation. So another way you could write it is simply y is less than or equal to 1. Meaning that the y value goes from 1, including the number 1, and all the way down to negative infinity. So y is less than or equal to 1. So if I was grading it, I would accept both answers, but I know in Alex, because it's picky how they want it to be written this way.
Careful with that interval notation.
I'm sorry?
The interval notation, careful.
Oh, thank you, Garrett. What did I do wrong with interval notation? What was wrong with this, anyone?
It should be negative infinity.
Right. Excellent. You always want to write the smallest number first to the biggest number. Thank you. All righty. Any questions on number 19? Last but not least, let's go ahead and look at question 20. Graph the solution to the following inequality on the number line. So in other words, let's first find out the solution. So let me give you guys a chance to do that. Okay, sorry, I forgot to record that earlier. So we just did step 1 where we pretended that this was an equation. And when we pretended it was an equation, we found the x values, and these x values are called boundary points or critical points in calculus. That's what they're called. Great, good job, you guys. So that's step 1. Now that we know the boundary points and critical points, what is step 2? What do we do with those numbers?
Don't we graph them?
Okay, let's go ahead and graph it. Put on a number line. What number do I put to the left here? What's a smaller number?
-6.
-6, and so then therefore this is -4. Great, and what do I do after that? What is step 3?
You're gonna want to test the points.
Great, test points. So we're gonna test points around the boundary points because we know at the boundary points, if we plug -6 or -4 in here, it'll make the inequality equal to 0, but we don't want it to be equal to 0. So here, I'm actually going to rewrite this right now to rewrite it as x squared plus 10x plus 24. I added the 24 to the other side is greater than 0. So I just changed that inequality to make it look like something greater than 0. Okay. So let's go ahead and test points and see which parts of this number line will create something that's greater than 0. So let's go ahead and test points. So what points should I test in?
-7.
Okay, so we plug -7 in here. If we plug -7 into this equation, do we get a positive or a negative answer?
I'm finished, Mommy. Because I ran out of that.
Plug it in. If you plug -7 into this equation, do we get positive or negative answers?
You get positive answers.
Get positive answers, okay? And I'm just showing you guys how I do this. Oops. Plug that into your calculator, you get a positive 3. So here we get positive answers. So I'm going to put positive here. Let's pick a number between -6 and -4. What's a number between -6 and -4?
Yes.
-5.
Great. So let's plug -5 in here.
Are you sharing your screen?
So when we plug -5 in here, do we get a positive or a negative answer?
-1.
Great, we get a negative answer. We get a -1, right? So here we're going to get a negative answer. So let's plug in a number to the right of -4. What number should we pick? What's to the right of -4?
-3.
Sure. And actually, let me make it easier for you. How about plugging in the number 0? Because
Okay.
0 is to the right of -4 too, right? So you plug 0 in here, you get 0 plus 0 plus 24. That's going to give you 24, so that's going to be positive. So try to pick an easy number so that it's less work. So here we get positive, negative, and positives around the boundary points. What kind of answers are we looking for? Do we want positive or negative answers?
Positive.
Great, we want positive answers. So we want the answers that are here, and we want answers that are here. So anything less than -6 and greater than -4. The question is asking us to graph it on a number line. So when we graph this, I'm going to say the answer is everything to the left here and everything to the right. Where? Bring that into the other room. Bring that into the other room, please. Thank you very much. All right, so, and the question is, does it include -6? Do I put an open or a closed circle on -6?
Open.
Open, right? And that's because this is a greater than. There's no equal sign. Same thing with -4, it's an open circle.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Anthony.
So how do you know, why are we looking for positives only?
Oh, great. Because we are looking for, so it says to solve this inequality, graph the solutions. So, sorry, give me 1 second. I'm gonna close the door, guys. So when they're asking us to solve this inequality, they're asking us, what numbers can you put in here that will make this greater than 0? So greater than 0 means any numbers that will make this part positive.
Okay.
That's why it's the positive. If it was less than 0, then I would want the negative answers.
And what about if it's less than or great or equal to?
Great. If it's less than or equal to, then I'll do the negative answers and I'll put solid circles around the -6 and the -4. Because if it was equal to, then I would say, well, what answers will make this equation equal to 0? So it would include the boundary points. But since it's just strictly greater than strictly less than, then you do open circles. It does not include the boundary points because the boundary points, it makes this equal to 0. So if there's no underline, then you want to make open circle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that make sense? Okay, I'm really glad you asked the question why. That's really important. Any other questions on this? Alrighty, so at this time, I'm gonna give us a chance to actually let's do a 5-minute break. And during the 5-minute break, those that are doing the group presentation, let's help get you set up. I know there's 2 groups, but other than that, the rest of you guys go ahead and take a break. 12:05, please come back. Okay, groups, and let me stop the recording. All right, welcome everyone back from the break. Today we have 2 groups presenting. In Math 140, we have Elizabeth, Cassandra, Melanie, and in Math 130, we have Hannah, Ramses, and Jesus sharing their group presentations, and they have given permission to record and showcase their presentations. So at this point, I am going to screen share.
So my name is Elizabeth Rodriguez, and I am a mother of 4 children. My oldest daughter is about to turn 17, and so now that she's getting into another age, I have to teach her something different than babies or toddlers. So I am going to teach her how to budget a check, just making everything is just made up, assuming that it's a $500 check a week. And of course, we're going to multiply this by 4. That would give us $2,000 a month. There are months that have 5 weeks, so that would give us $2,500 a month. So now we're actually going to put down how much a possible rent could be, which I think I'm going very low, but let's say $1,000 a month. And then bills like water, gas that we have to pay for in a property. I'm going to assume because she's alone, $100. Food for herself for the month. Also because she's alone, I'm going to say about $200. And then these are more of the essentials. A car is more of a luxury, but we do need it most of the time. So we're going to assume somewhere along the line she's going to get a car. This will require gas, car insurance, and a car payment. Now, assuming she's just commuting locally and not going a far distance, and that she gets a car that saves her gas, we're gonna say it's gonna be about $30 a week times 4 weeks a month. I would say about $120 a month. And then car insurance, it being that she's so young, possibly $150 a month. And then a car payment, if she's lucky, $200 a month. So all of this adds up to $1,770. And then we take our baseline, which is our $2,000 a month. Subtracting this, how much would she have left over? Is $230. Now it seems like much, but when you're out in the real world, it's really not that much because these are just some made up numbers. Normally it's obviously a little bit higher than what I put on here, but this is just giving her an idea of what it is. Because a lot of times we want entertainment, we want to go out to the movies, maybe go out with our friends and yada, yada, yada. And $230 would not cut it. So I encourage her to finish school and do something for herself because that would not be enough for her to survive. And that is what it is for me, trying to teach her how to budget a check. This is just with nothing extra, no credit cards. These are just essentials. Thank you very much.
Awesome. How old is your daughter?
She's 16 right now.
16, okay. Awesome. Yeah. I'm gonna go on to the next video. Thank you for sharing the budgeting for your 16-year-old. That's a great way to start him off with life and being responsible. This is with Cassandra here about learning multiplication.
Cassandra, I am
Cassandra, sorry.
Hello, my name is Cassandra. I am a mother of 3 girls, ages 3, 4, and 7. My 7-year-old is very good at adding and subtracting right now. So she wanted to learn how to do multiplication already. I've taught her 3 different ways to do it, and of course she has a favorite one to do. She will need this in the future, so that's why I practice with her as much as I can. The first way I taught her how to do it, let's say 5 times 3. I taught her to draw big circles based on the first, on the lowest number, which is 3. And then I taught her to add the 5 dots based on the large number. And then that's how she'll just add everything up and she'll get her answer. Another way I taught her was doing it this way, just drawing her 3 lines, still going based on the same equation, and then she'll do the same thing as the other one, just add the bigger number, and she'll get the same answer. She doesn't like doing it this way, even though it's kind of the same thing as the first one. She likes this one better. Another way I told her to do it, which might be easier for her, is doing it this way. Just adding the 5s 3 times based on that equation. She doesn't do it this way often. She does it the least, but this one does help her a lot too when she's doing small numbers. But when they're bigger, she does it this way. This is the way I'm teaching her now, since she's still a little younger. But she's actually finding other ways on how to do it. But I still go based on these. And they're actually good when you're starting to introduce it to multiplication.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm actually about to teach my oldest one how to do multiplication, so that's really cool to have a visual of it. Great. Melanie, were you able to share your screen or by any chance?
No, because I'm using my son's laptop. Mine is not working, and I don't know how to navigate through this and get into my own emails and to my own files. That's where my problem is. But I have it on my Outlook on my phone.
Okay. Can you share your phone? Can you turn on your phone? Can you log on to Zoom through your phone and share it through your phone?
I was trying to do that.
Okay. See if you could log onto this class through your phone, and then we can share your screen from your phone.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm going to have the other group 6 go ahead. So Hannah, Ramses, Jesus, and Penny's not here.
Okay. I'll start it off. I'm Hannah. The first slide is just what is math. Math is short for mathematics. Math has many purposes when it comes to our daily lives. We use C/C numbers almost every day, and at some point we are, sorry, I can't see, counting whether it be while shopping, paying bills, etc.
I agree.
And then I'm gonna pass it on to my other, I think Ramses
Hello.
or Kenny. I mean Jesus.
My name is Jesus, and basically, math is a subject that everyone applies to their daily lives. Even though some may argue that math is useless to them, it's actually not, because math isn't everything. For example, when you're at work or even grocery shopping, you're applying math to your life. Like at work, you may be counting money. When you're grocery shopping, maybe you have like a certain amount you could spend, so you're keeping track and you're adding up numbers. So therefore, some of us use math for basic needs without even like realizing it. And using math is also one of the best exercises for your brain because of all the thinking it like makes you process. So next time you like when you see numbers and stuff, it just makes it easier to process things. And then so yeah, so just next time you're just going on about your lives, you should probably realize that you're using math.
I agree. I agree. I need you guys to be spokespeople for mathematics for students now.
And then now we will be giving you guys a little quiz to freshen up your brains.
Okay,
And I'll pass it on to Ramses.
so the question is, a motorboat travels 180 miles in 5 hours going upstream. It travels 310 miles downstream in the same amount of time. What is the rate of the boat in still water, and what is the current rate? Hint, use D equals R times T, which is distance equals rate times time. If anybody want to, give it a try, go ahead.
Any takers? What should we do? I'm seeing if I can write on this document, but I don't think I can. What should we do? Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, just hold on. Why don't you guys go ahead and explain what to do?
Well, basically, you should start off by doing a little table that has on the side of the still water in the current to find to find out what it is. We're finding the rate. We're trying to find the rate here because we already know what's the time and we already know what's the distance. The time is 5 hours and the distance for both is 180 miles and 310 miles. For 118 is for upstream and 310 is for downstream.
Okay.
So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in an equation kind of form. We're gonna put 118.
You're gonna put what?
118.
180, you mean?
Yeah, well, yeah. Sorry. And well, the way how you teach this was that you divided the 5 into the 180 to give us one of the answers for the still water in the rate boat. The current.
So I'm gonna just write out the equation here for you guys. Okay. The two equations. So one's going upstream, one going downstream, right? So just for the sake of time, I'm gonna keep moving us forward with this. So the answer is, go ahead.
The answer for this boat and for the rate of the boat in still water is 49 miles per hour, and the rate of the current is 13 miles per hour.
Perfect. Great. Great. Thank you, you guys. Any questions or any comments for any of the groups that just went? All right. And Melanie, I don't know what happened to yours.
I tried to resend it because I had sent it to you originally. I don't know if you want to check your inbox, and I tried to resend it again, see if it works.
Okay. Through my inbox. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, in Canvas.
I was trying to share it with my phone, but it says I can't share it while someone else is sharing.
Oh, oh, I can. Well, let me check if I can get. Okay, Melanie's project. Here you go. Let's see if I can open this. Open, open. Here it is. Okay, Melanie, you're up.
So when when a woman finds out that she is pregnant, it's really exciting, but a woman starts thinking like, oh wow, what have I been eating when I didn't know that I was pregnant? So we go to the doctor, and the doctor will tell us whether we are either deficient in something or uh, we're having too much in some sort of minerals. So if you can go down a bit, we depend on the nutritional facts on different foods, and we'll notice the nutritional value. If you scroll below a little bit, I have the nutritional value of just one egg. And if you have two, you have to remember to multiply it. So, because having a healthy pregnancy is the key, having a healthy nutrition is the key to a healthy pregnancy. And when we first give birth to our child, the first baby visit at 2 weeks, the doctor's going to bombard us with a lot of numbers. He's going to show us growth charts, how our baby's weight is increasing in proportion to its maybe circumference of the baby's head. So we have to keep in mind those numbers for the next visit, so we know that our baby is having a healthy growth. And also, when we feed our child, we need to know the unit measurements, like how much we have to feed our child when we use formula. For example, 1 scoop of formula would mean 2 ounces of liquid, most of the time water. And should you do 2 scoops, we have to multiply it. And when for breastfeeding women, and this was before COVID-19, we had to calculate how much time we were going to spend away from our child to know how much we were going to pump and store in our refrigerator for our babysitters. So it is very, very important to know these numbers, especially I just wanted to give an example of knowing a baby's growth chart, because both my sister and we both have our baby. They're both 6 months apart. My sister's she had given birth in January, I had given birth in May, but her child was not reaching all the milestones. And she compared her baby's growth chart to my baby's growth chart. And it was 12 months later, but with her doing this homework with the growth chart, she found out that her baby had cerebral palsy. So it's very important. The numbers give us information as moms. And our children will use and just like that with temperature, we have to understand what is degrees Celsius and Fahrenheit. And in different countries we use, I'm sorry, that's my gardener. We use different unit measure. So we have to keep that in mind. And when we take our baby's temperature, we will know whether our baby is normal. 37 degrees Celsius would be normal, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit would be normal. And so the use of math continues. And just like Elizabeth and Cassandra had shown before. Sorry, Cassandra, wrong name. Thank you.
Great, great. Wow, that is so interesting. I love it. So I loved how one group really went through the stages of a child and how math can be applied to each stage of a child. And yeah, I remember, being a mom of 2 kids, I remember those beginning years of looking at numbers and data and being so overwhelmed. And then now in the stage of trying to teach my kids math, and then one day, like Elizabeth, needing to teach them how to budget, right? And Hannah and Jesus sharing how math is used in our everyday lives and giving an example of something that we do in class with the distance rate time. Does anyone have any comments or questions? All right, so I do want to honor the time. It is 12:30 p.m. I'll stay on for a little bit longer. I will post up this this practice exam with the answer key on our Canvas. So after this class, and give me about 30 minutes, click on files and you'll see the practice exam with the solutions as well, so you can go back and check it. We went through the latter half of the practice exam, which is what's going to be on your quiz. And again, the latter half of your exam. The first half of your exam is going to be on radicals, which was your quiz from radicals from last time. So make sure you review that. You'll get all of this on Alex as well. So you'll have many chances to work on a practice exam. And reminder on Monday that we're going to have the exam live on Zoom. Again, you have the option of taking it at 10 o'clock or at 1 o'clock. And it'll be for 2.5 hours. And you'll need to have your phone and your camera positioned in a way where I can see your laptop and you doing the exam on in front of me, basically through the computer. If you missed that portion of the class where I explained how the exam's gonna be taken, watch the Confer Zoom recording. I'm gonna post up in a few hours once they give me the recording. All right, so that being said, thank you guys for joining me. Jesus, I will have you do the student spotlight next week. I'm sorry I didn't have time for that this week. And I'll stay on for a few minutes if anyone has any questions.